just 30 right now and are already formed two successful companies. So what is your plan for next decade? I would rather say,
If I have to reach somewhere, I have to leave from somewhere, take that leap and just go for it.
I think even that should be motivation for me as well.
Till then, I was not sure what I have to do in my life, right? Nobody is. I mean, even if they say they have to do something, they're either fooling themselves or they're just too overconfident.
In business, even being a profitable business, I think cash flow is the key, is what I'm hearing.
Various influencers will tell you do this, you do that, always go for higher returns and all, and spend much time on researching and all of that. I don't do that kind of stuff because I believe in spending more time on my primary skill set and earning more than investing and getting more on the passive income. It was a good year for us.
And if you want to give a number, or
we have 3x our revenue
versus last year.
Yes.
Hello friends, welcome to Money and More podcast. On this podcast, we cover financial wellness related topic with young entrepreneurs as well as working professionals who have created niche for themselves. With this, I would like to welcome young and dynamic entrepreneur with me today, Abhishek Sonawane. He is a co-founder of Soocel Digital Solutions as well as Credify. At the age of 30, he has created two companies successfully. So let's welcome him. Hi Abhishek, welcome to the podcast.
Hi.
So how are you feeling being on the podcast today?
I'm doing good. I mean, I'm really feeling good to be on this podcast and sharing my experiences with your viewers and other members. Right. So we have been in the business for past 3-4 years. I've learned a lot, quite successful. I've done some things successfully, failed a lot. So I would love to share those learnings with you and your viewers.
Yeah, thanks Abhishek for joining. So before we go more into business, let's start about your journey, early days, job, moving from job to business, which the kind of question I love more personally.
Sure.
And also we'll speak more about your co-founder, Mr. Gaurav Poswal. So how you guys started together. So about your early days, like how life has been. You did a MBA from IIM. So what were the decision driving you, and were you always a bright student?
No, I'll just give you the brief background of myself. I come from a humble middle class family from a very small town in Nasik district called Satana. So I did my schooling there in Marathi medium. Then went on to Ferguson College in Pune. Then did my engineering from Sinhagat College in ENTC. And back then, I absolutely had no idea what I had to do, right? My parents wanted me to become a doctor, but then I went on to become an engineer. Then I got into IIM. I mean, what to do after engineering? So like any average Punekar kid, I gave GRE and I thought of going abroad to US.
Okay.
Applied for few universities, but then I got the job on campus. So I was like, why not do this? I have my income starting right away. So I did the job. And then in the job, I was thinking, do I really have to do coding all my life? I mean, is this my calling or not? And then I realized, no, I should try something else because coding was not my thing back then. I was good at maths and other things, but coding somehow was not my thing. So I decided to give CAT and other exams, and fortunately got into IIM Visakhapatnam. Still then, I was not sure what I have to do in my life, right? Nobody is. I mean, even if they say they have to do something, they're either fooling themselves or they're just too overconfident. So just like every other kid again in IIM, I was thinking what to do, what not to do. I was figuring out my options. I mean, taking courses in finance, marketing and everything. And suddenly I realized, okay, I have some interest in marketing and sales. I'm a little extrovert guy. I like to speak with other people. I like to go out with other people, interact. So I got into marketing and sales. And then I thought, this is where I can see my career going in the future.
So finally you figured out what is right for you.
Figured out, yes. It took some time, but everybody figures out what they have to do at some point in life. It may come around 2021, it may around 30, 35 or something. But yeah, everybody figures that out.
I think you realized quite early in life what you want to do.
I don't know, but let's see. Yeah.
So you did job for around 6 years.
Yes, 6
So
years.
how was that experience in terms of like how you moved company and the roles?
So first I started off with Accenture. After my engineering, just like everybody else, everybody goes into TCS, Infosys, Accenture. So I started my journey as just another IT guy. Did 2 years of job in IT. Did some coding. I was a data analyst back then. And then after getting into MBA, I found out, okay, I'm good at sales and all. And sales is like, I thought sales is the job that you should go for in your early phase of the life, that teaches you what it takes to sell your product and what it takes to grow your company in the very early phase, right? You can build a product but if you can't sell it, it's of no good. So I thought, okay, I need to hone the skill first and then see how it goes further, right? So I got into sales. I was in software sales for next 2 years for the US market. It was an Indian company called Jungleworks. They had multiple products like SaaS products under their belt. So I did sales for them for 2 years in US and UK market. And then I joined a company called Agora, again in software sales. So I did almost completed 2 years over there. Then I did a short stint at another company in Hyderabad called Result, again in key account management, BDM, business development. And then I officially started with Gaurav and Credify. So yeah, that's how the journey went.
How was that transition in terms of what was that motivation factor to leave the job and start yourself when I think you were enjoying your job?
Yes. I mean, being in sales it's quite you can say interesting, because once you close that sale, once you get that client on board, that gives you the immense happiness. I don't think you get that in any other job or any other role. There might be other, you can say, inspirations or anything else, but in sales you have that ecstatic feeling of closing a client. So it was going good, but somewhere around I guess 2019 or 2020, I thought, if I'm doing so much business for others, I mean, obviously they have built the product and all, but if I've closed around $1 million or so till now. So in all the companies combined, right? So if I can do this much business for myself, I'll be better off in life. So why not start this? And there was other factor as well. Like I don't want to go to my deathbed with some regrets of not starting something of my own, right? Because you must have seen that movie, Three Idiots. Gaadi bahar khadi thi, letter haath mein tha, right? So I have the chance right now. I'm at the right age. It's the early phase of my career. If I want to take risks, this is the time. If it goes on to become something big, it will be beneficial for me anyway. Otherwise, I can always go back to my old job. And being in sales, that's the best part. If you can bring in the revenue, every company is ready to take you in. So I have something to fall back on. So I took this.
So you had plan B in mind. So basically a fallback plan.
Yes. I mean, it's always there. It's like you can always go back and do some job.
Covered.
Yeah.
So you met Gaurav basically like you founded both this company with Gaurav.
Yes.
So how has that been journey? Because finding a co-founder, what I feel is very difficult. A person with whom like you can, because that is a very long, when you start a business, it's a long journey. So a person should be someone compatible in different aspects of life, as well as he should be someone who brings additional qualities to the table. So how did you meet Gaurav, and how initial transition or the business when you started, how it went?
So me and Gaurav, actually the story goes long back since our MBA days. So when I got into IIM Visakhapatnam, he was there in the placement committee of IIM Visakhapatnam. And I also became a member of the placement committee back then. So our friendship goes long back from 2017, I guess 18. So we had no plan of whatsoever starting a business in our life. If you had told us back then that you may be starting a business together a few years down the line, we wouldn't have believed you. But yeah, I know. I mean, that's where actually the trust building happened, right? Because we did not have this mind that we are going to be like this in the future. So the friendship and all the values we shared, all the experiences we shared, it got built up back then. And we found out we trust each other as a friend, as a person. And that's what's the most important thing you need in your co-founder, right? Or in your founder. Because trust has to be there. First of all, you need to trust them with your life, with your money, with your everything. And second of all is like he's a very good product and analytics guy. He's good in finance as well. He's a CFA certified guy, right? So he has good knowledge in finance. He is product and analytics guy, and I am the sales and marketing guy. So we have complementary skill set. That's what also you look for when you're looking for who to start your business with. because your skill set should complement each other, and that's how it boosts the businesses. If it is of the same skill set, I guess you may have some conflict, but sometimes it's good to have complementary skill sets in the co-founder.
Yeah, got it. So good that you found the right co-founder. So going back to the company, so you formed Soocel, like you joined Soocel as a co-founder 3 years back.
Yes.
So into influencer marketing, and so around this, like this is a very new age business, and how did you guys decide in terms of like you can scale this up, like considering the new age challenges, new influencers coming up, new companies coming up, and like how did it everything go, like the initial days?
So initial phase was quite rocky, I'll say. For every business, we are bootstrapped, and we started just after COVID. So businesses were already dwindling, and it was a tough
But
time.
influencer marketing was going up, I guess.
It was going up, yes. Digital marketing and influencer marketing, particularly in D2C space. Everybody was trying, like you must have heard brands like Mamaearth and other beauty brands, and everybody was doing lots of influencer marketing back then. And we thought we'll capitalize on that. We are new into this field. There is not much saturation as compared to digital marketing and all. Because in digital marketing, you'll see lots of companies have started their own teams. Digital marketing, everything. So they have got those capabilities in-house. Influencer marketing is something, it requires lots of manual effort, and you need to have some idea of the market.
You can't create your own team, basically. You have to reach out to different influencers.
Yes. It's a very tedious task, reaching out to every influencer individually, and some influencer may give you a quote which is not of the market value. Right? What will you do then? So that time you have to rely on agency, because I have worked with one influencer for, let's say, 10 different campaigns. So I know what his actual worth is or his value is, right? So that's why they rely on us to get them the right influencers, which can reach to their target audience in the right price.
But then when you started initially, being a very like a small or a new company, the big influencers, how difficult was to convert them? Or even the way companies, I would rather say that who would engage a digital marketing company for the campaigns, how difficult was to even work with the company to trust you as a being a new company in the market?
So the actual, you can say, challenge didn't come in terms of influencer, but in terms of getting the brands onboarded. Because you see, this is the typical marketplace dilemma. Like, if I don't have brands, influencers won't come to me. Or if I don't have influencers, brands won't come to me. Right? So we need to find out that mid-golden region where we get the enough brands to get the influencers and then scale it up. So it was hard convincing the brands to do their campaigns with us and convince them that we have the right set of influencers and we can give them at the right price. And then once we have good brands, like good, you can say D2C brands or fintech brands onboarded, and once that brand has some name, the influencers will automatically come. They are more than happy to be affiliated with some reputed brands in the market and get their name on the trot, right? So that's how we got the brands first, and then the influencers came on. But
do you feel like your IIM degree helped you in getting brands onboarded somewhere?
It does. Degree may not be fully, you can say, I cannot relate that the degree actually helped me get the clients or us get the clients. But connections matter the most. Connections we have made over the years, networking we have made over the years. And that too because of IIM only. I won't say the degree helped me there, but
basically
the connections, networking helped me. Yes.
Got it. And what are some big brands you have worked till date?
Okay, if I don't think I can take some names, but there is a very big company in a credit card space in India, which is very new. We have worked with them. We have worked with multiple, you can say, share broking companies in fintech space. In gaming space, we have worked with two biggest players in the gaming. If you may know that, you know their names.
Got it.
So top two players in fantasy cricket gaming, and also we have worked with them. But currently government has done some bad to the gaming industry with the GST and all.
So their budgets may have gone down.
Their budgets have gone down. But yeah, we have worked with all of those brands.
So again, the budgets, when we commit, so stability of business, because service sector, the kind of business you have, the company, based on their, you can say, the campaign, like the IPL time, the companies spend a lot, but otherwise there can be slack season. So do you see that like salary days, you must have seen some fixed income coming every month when you started, like how difficult, or whether you used to get some jitters, like because the money wasn't stable?
Yes. Early phase was like that. But that's what they say, right? You have to accept all the pros and cons of being in a business. So in the early phase, IPL, you say, it's like the new Diwali for all the advertisers. Everybody is doing campaigns around that time. And we used to get lots of clients for that particular phase only. So apart from that time, we tried to get other clients in different spaces. Right, they're just not seasonal. They don't have seasonal products and all, and they
Right.
can do the campaigns all over the year. So we try to make the most of our money during certain, you can say, months of the year. But rest, then we try to actually cover up our expenses through the different campaigns in that field.
So when you started,
Mhm.
so how much money did you invest?
So initially, Gaurav started with the capital of around 30 lakhs or so, all in the loan. Right, it
Okay.
is all bootstrapped.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, we had no investor, and we don't believe in a philosophy of getting funds from others for survival. Right,
Okay.
we had a
Right.
business plan, and we were striving to make it work, to make our first rupee. And once you have the model in place, which you can scale it up with more money, you can bring more clients and get more money. At that phase, we thought we'll go for the funding, but till then we are already starting enough money that we can put that back into the business and scale
Nice.
it up. Right, so that's how it
So
all
basically,
started.
always run on a profitable basis.
Yes, you can see that. Fortunately, touchwood, we have been doing good. But yeah.
So what are the challenges, early challenges you faced when you started, like in terms of maybe cash flow, in terms of converting clients or whatever? Like what are the earlier days challenges?
Cash flow management, you can see, is the biggest challenge that a businessman faces, no matter what the scale of his business is. I'm sure big players like Ambani, Adani must have faced this challenge at some point in their life. At some point, they must have faced this. So it's like you have both the stakeholders. We have brands and influencers, right? We have to get the cash from the brands and then give it to the influencers. Influencers want money right away,
Advance.
as soon as they want, sometimes advance as well, but they won't put that particular creative out on the social media or any other platform until they get the payment.
Okay.
And brands won't pay you until
it's out.
Cycle is until it is out, or their cycle is done. Their payment cycles, there are different payment cycles they have credit period. So we have to wait that period out. We have to at least survive for, let's say, 80-90 days. Some clients have
Okay.
even delayed it for a year for now.
Mhm.
Those who are good clients who have given up business for more than 2-3 years, they sometimes delay it for 1 year as well.
Got
Right.
it.
So at that time, you need to pay salary, you need to be operationally effective, you need to pay influencers as well, you need to give taxes to the
Yeah.
government. So you need to be very cash rich for such business. In services, it's a hard task, but yeah, we have somehow managed it.
So where there were some times when you were out of cash and like
There were. I mean, I can't lie.
so how did you manage those times?
So at that time, friends and family really helped, and we actually had some good name in some banks as well. So we tried to get a loan,
Got it.
and then friends and family pitched in, gave us some money, and that's how we survived in that phase.
So today, are you loan free now after 3 years of starting Soocel?
No. But loan is not a bad thing always. For
Yeah.
businesses, you see, loan is a good
I
thing.
think that is leverage always, like the kind
Always,
of
always.
I think that is where even you can scale the business with bootstrapping, I guess.
Correct.
So, but in terms of, again, I think taking loan initially sometimes can also make you sleepless nights.
Yes.
So,
But
because
that is-
money is not coming in, you have to
True.
make the interest and what are the installment payments. So I
True,
think
true. But that gives you motivation as well. That's like a back burner for you, right? You have to
you have
work
to
hard,
push yourself hard.
push yourself. That's a motivating factor, and that's how you get the money, or it gives you a sense of responsibility and inculcates a discipline in you that you have to be there in your business all the time and get the money to repay this loan, right? So it's not always bad, and if you can make much more than what you're paying in interest, so that is always beneficial for you.
Going back to money question again. So the last drawn salary, like how much time it took you to cover that when you started the business?
So I'm still to get to that figure, to be honest, because there is no point in getting that ridiculous amount of salary right now in the business. Right? I was earning quite good when I left the job. I left the job around in June last year.
Okay.
For now, I was
Okay,
in
so
job for
basically
now.
you were simultaneously working
Yes.
on Soocel as well
Yes.
as okay.
Yes. So I had that security for quite some time,
Yeah.
and I had switched around 2 or 3 times.
Okay.
So I was almost getting around 3 lakhs or so something
Okay.
in hand at that time.
Got it.
And to get to that figure, it's going to take much more time for now.
But I think you must be reinvesting into business.
Yes,
Like the profit must be
Yes,
higher,
yes.
right?
That's why, I mean, we don't want to go to that figure, because first it increases your tax liability, and
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense right now. It
Yeah.
is to, we are just drawing salary enough to, you
Meet
can
your
say,
expenses.
meet our expenses, the critical expenses only, not even all the expenses, critical expenses, and then put that back into the business, because this money is going to make us more money in the future, and that's how the business
Got it.
works.
So I think it's not that you're not making the money equivalent to last round salary. You're just not drawing enough. The profits are, I think, much higher.
No, I still can't draw that much, but yeah, we will someday. I hope that day comes soon. But yeah.
So again, on the salary, so the first job you did,
Mhm.
what was the salary you used to draw that time? Like, what was your first salary?
First job was around 25,000 per month. The
Oh, so that is,
standard
you can
IT
say,
salary.
3 lakh per annum
3 lakh per
to
annum.
when you left, like in a 6 year span, 3 lakh per month.
Yes,
So like,
correct.
I think, yeah, that is a good
Yes,
transitional
the-
journey, and MBA must have helped you in
Yes,
reaching that journey milestone, I guess.
definitely.
So I think leaving that kind of a stable job,
Mhm.
like, do you still feel sometime that you would have been more happier into job than this business? Like, that kind of question ever comes to you?
No, I don't think so, because I always wanted to do something of my own, right?
Got it.
Because you need to have that much confidence in your abilities that you can make that money back. So leaving the comfort zone was, yeah, I mean, I gave it a thought. But if, I mean, I've read a quote somewhere that's what, there are few quotes that I live by. This is one of them, that you don't have to be great to start. No. Yeah, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great, right?
Got
So
it.
if I have to reach somewhere, I have to leave from somewhere, take that leap and just go for it.
I think even that should be motivation for me as well. Yeah, so going to some more money related questions about
Mhm.
your personal finances. So because you don't draw enough right
Mhm.
now, so maybe like what kind of other family responsibilities you have or you had when you started up. So whether
Mhm.
you need to support family financially.
Currently not. Family responsibilities also, yes, it is there, but they also understand that I have taken this leap and not drawing much of the salary, and they are financially well off for now, so they don't need much of the support. But sometimes you need, I mean, as a family member, as their son, you have to do it. There are certain responsibilities that you need to take, so that, yeah, that is like given, you have to take it. And apart from those responsibilities, talking about loans, I do have education loan, a car loan. I gifted a car to my parents a
Oh,
couple of
nice.
years back. So those a few liabilities I have on my head, but we are managing it. It's not that hard. Sometimes I may miss a payment or two, but that's fine. I mean, I can always make it back. It hampers my credit score, I know, but now I have taken this decision, so I'll have to live with it.
So I think in business, even being a profitable business, I think cash flow is the key, is what I'm hearing
Yeah,
from service business. Yeah. So again, on the investment side, so like, have you worked upon your journey in terms of, have you made your financial plan in terms of how you
Mhm.
want to manage your investment, or whether you had a plan in place when you were into job, like you had specific planning around your finances?
To be honest, in job I had no plan. Okay, so YOLO, you only live once, and I used to live by that. You won't get this particular young phase of your life again. And I was spending like there is no tomorrow. But it took me no time to realize that this is not the right way to go ahead. So in the early days, I didn't used to get much of the salary, as you know, around 25K, 30K a month. But even after that, I was like, okay, whatever I need to spend on, I was spending on myself. But then few things happened in a life. I had a fatal accident sometimes back, and then I realized that, okay, so I need to take care of my finances as well. I just can't spend money like there is no tomorrow, and I need to have some decent savings. I need to have insurances. I need to plan for my retirement, and after that, if anything is left, I can use it for my own, you can say, leisure and pleasure.
So how you have like changed over the time in terms of how you now invest, what kind of assets you are investing, and we will
Mhm.
again go to insurance, like what kind of insurance you have.
So first of all, first and foremost, you can say insurance is very much necessary. So I started my investing journey 4 years back, and
So around age of, you can say, 26, 27.
20, yeah, 25, 26, I started
Got it.
around that. And just like every other Indian household, my parents started my financial journey. So they forced me to take an insurance, because in their generation, it's a common thought to have FDs or have insurance, and then only you start spending your money, right? So I started started paying premiums for my insurance back
So
then.
which was the first insurance, like around what was the company and what kind of insurance you took?
It was a life insurance
Okay.
from Max Life.
Okay.
Financially, I mean, there are different aspects. Whenever if you have to choose any particular insurance, you need to take a look at returns and maturity and all of that. But I did not think much at that point of time. This may turn out to be good or bad in retrospect in few years. I don't know. But yeah, that is the first thing I took. But so later I realized insurance should be the first thing you should invest in, right? Before investing in stocks, in mutual funds or anything else, like the recent influencers tell you, you should first have your security, financial security for life, right? So insurances should always be first, and then you go into the different asset classes which give you lucrative returns.
So you have health cover right now?
Yes, I do.
And what is the amount you have?
I have health cover of around 15 to 20 lakhs.
Got it.
Yeah.
I think that is good for a city like Pune for you. What do you feel?
Yes, that is much necessary. I'll say even if you have insurance given by your company, I'll say go ahead and take your own health insurance.
Alright.
Company doesn't give you much of a cover, and not all of the things are covered in that insurance as well.
And have you taken term plan?
I have taken term plan as well.
And what is the amount for that?
It is for 2 CR, so 1 CR for death and 1 CR for accidental cover. You should at least have 2 CR. That's how much you should give back to your family if you're not around, right? So I believe my family should get that much to at least cover their expenses for future if they're relying on me, or if they have any health emergency or so. I don't want to leave them high and dry.
And so about the investment, so I know in business you never have a consistent cash flows, but do you invest in some asset classes like, let's say, mutual funds or bonds or something?
Yes, I do. In stocks, mutual funds and all of that, I mean, various influencers will tell you, you do this, you do that, always go for higher returns and all, and spend much time on researching and all of that. I don't do that kind of stuff because I believe in spending more time on my primary skill set and earning more than investing and getting more on the passive income, right? If I have money, I'll probably upskill myself and try to earn more.
So I think, yeah, that is absolutely a key learning. I guess upskilling is also a very good form of investing, like, because the kind of returns you gain from upskilling yourself is like you can't match it with any other investment form, I guess.
And that's what the misinformation, I'll say, that has been going on for quite few years on social media, that go here, you'll get 20-30% return. Don't invest in FD.
So even I have seen videos, instead of doing MBA, invest here and get 40x returns and all that.
It doesn't matter. I mean, if you're earning more, that just difference of 2-3% more returns in that particular thing won't give you much over the time, right? If you are going to earn 2x, 3x with certain skill set, that should always be your first choice.
Nice learning for me as well. Yeah. So now moving to a company which so Soocel is the first you formed, and again recently you formed another company, Credify,
Yes,
where you yourself are going to create a more financial awareness, financial learning.
Yes.
So can you speak more about that? What are the plans with the company?
So sure. Where we started Credify is basically when we are doing marketing campaigns for various fintech companies. We found out that financial literacy in India is less than 25%.
Yeah,
and
true.
that was a shocking fact to find out, because we have educated from premier institutes, we have gone through all those things. We thought this is like given or default. Everybody should know about personal finance, saving, investing, budgeting. But when you go out in the world, you find out it's not the case. And just less than 25% financially literate India, you'll say. In developed economies, it is more than 70% or so. And this financial illiteracy is actually what's keeping India back, to be honest. Because if I'm not financially literate, I don't know how to make money using my money, right? Then I get into these Ponzi schemes, I get into the debt traps, I'm not managing my money well, I take a personal loan, and then I dive deep. It's a spiral trap. You just go down and down and down. And if without the financial literacy, there is not much participation in the financial markets as well. We still see not much investors in the stock market, mutual funds and all of that. Even FDs and all, even insurances. Not many of us, we know that actually take life insurances or health insurances, right? Because there's no literacy and it is hampering them in the long term. So we thought what we can do is we can actually build a company. We have good knowledge of the fintech space, finance space, and we have good knowledge of the consumer base in India, how they want to consume the knowledge,
Got
not
it.
in the regular way of
And
textbooks
I
and
think,
all.
yeah, that is where there are so much of data or info available. I think it's not reaching in a
The
form
right
that
audience,
people want
they
to
want
consume
to
it.
consume, right?
So how you are going to differentiate that?
Yes, so that's what we are trying to do. We are trying to create content in the short format videos, or in a gamified way that is engaging for the younger generation of India, like the Gen Zs and millennials. They want to, I mean, if you see one statistic, we have recently seen a statistic that says people are searching more on TikTok and YouTube than on Google. So
Got it.
people are trying to consume content through video,
Through TikTok.
through TikTok or YouTube. They want
Yeah.
video content. They don't want to spend time reading. They will see a video, they'll learn something, and they'll inculcate in themselves, right? So we are trying to do that. We're trying to give them the knowledge they want in a simplified way. Finance can be quite complex at times.
Yeah.
So we are trying to teach them simple personal finance in Hindi or any other local language which they can understand in, and then apply it in their personal life.
Got it. Yeah, I think that is a great initiative, I guess. And again, so at a young age, at the age of 30, you are already like you are co-founder for two companies. So how do you feel about success? So you call this as success, or you have you have some other benchmarks for success right now?
There is no definition of success. What do you think should be the definition of success? What is your definition, if I may
For
ask?
me, yeah, cross question again. I need to sit and think around. But yeah, for me, like enjoying whatever you are doing is success.
True. So even I believe in that. If I am able to do what I want to do, I have the freedom. And second of all, as long as your parents are proud of you, that should be the success for you, right? Monetary terms, there can be different numbers for different people. Somebody is not happy with 100 CR as well, and somebody is still good with maybe 30. I was happy with my 30K salary back then, right? And somebody is not happy with 100 200 CR in their account. So success is quite personal and subjective, but I believe as long as you're keeping your loved ones happy with what you do, and if you are there all the time for them, that will be enough to consider yourself successful.
So by that definition, you're quite successful, I believe.
Yeah, I strive to, I mean, but who knows?
Yeah. So again, going back to like some more questions around money and everything with social or like more companies. So in terms of like how much you have scaled in last 3 years in terms of money, if you have to call, like whatever benchmarks you have again kept for another next 3 to 5 years.
So for this year, we have already crossed our target. It was a good year for us.
And if you want to give a number, or
we have 3x our revenue
versus last year.
Yes, versus last, we have 3x our revenue.
3x growth in a single year.
Single year, yes. And we are looking to grow in the same manner in next few years. But we are building a bootstrap product right now, Credify, right? So
Yeah.
we may not see that much growth in the early phase, because that's how the product companies are in the very early phase. They don't earn much until we reach some critical mass and start to monetize it. So, but we are hoping to achieve some good numbers over the larger horizon. Let's say 5 to 10 years. We are hoping to get this revenue to 10, 20x or even more.
Nice. I think a nice target. But again, this market, what I feel, digital marketing is getting cluttered with number of companies coming up, new influencers getting born every day. So do you feel is this going to be a sustainable market in terms of, or you see this space changing or evolving?
Yes. I mean, change is the only constant in the universe, right? So it is changing. Just like few years back, digital marketing was like, there was a huge scope for agencies in digital marketing, but currently it is saturated, right? Everybody has their in-house capabilities in digital marketing. They have their own team doing all sorts of stuff, and they don't outsource much, right? And same will be with the influencer marketing. Currently everybody is just trying to test the waters with the agencies, but soon they realize we are spending much outside on the agencies. They will have their in-house team. So we need to pivot accordingly, right? Whatever we are earning right now, we are putting into the product. We are trying to create a product which will be sustainable over the years. Once you create the product and once you make that operationally effective, so it will go on to the autopilot for some time, right? You don't have to push that much efforts which you need to put in the services. You need to be available for clients 24/7. You need to do campaigns. You need to do whatever they want to tell you. But in the products, it's different. You give to your customers what they want, and you give it in a timely manner and in a way that is suitable for you.
And I think that is where your another company has, I think,
Yes,
came up.
that's where the
From
Credify
Soocel to
comes in.
Credify.
Yes.
So from service to product business.
Product business.
And even I think the cash flows will be better stable in terms of how it moves in the
Much
product
better.
business. So
At
recurring
least
cash flows, I guess.
Recurring cash flows, and we can forecast it, and that will be totally dependent on us. Currently it's dependent on the brands, how much they want to spend, but
Got it.
once we move on to the product, the return on the efforts we are putting in, it's totally up to us.
Going back to again the influencer thing, what you're speaking. So what I see, the influencer market, again, the new influencer are getting born every day, every month you see. So the graph is generally the peak, like initial, the struggle
Yes,
time, then
yes,
it's peak, and then
yes.
suddenly you go, the influencer gets vanishes.
Yes.
Someone else will take up the place. So you see the shelf life is much shorter than the stars,
Yes.
what we see in the industry. And how do you maintain that in terms of, because you work with so many
Mhm.
influencers, so how do you see that?
So even influencers need to change themselves according to the audience and the trends that are happening. In social media, you must know a couple of influencers, like maybe like Mumbaikar Nikhil. There were certain influencers in our early phase of YouTube. Those are not there anymore.
We don't see those,
We
them
don't
now.
see them anymore because it's like product life cycle, which we learn in MBA, right? There is a product life cycle.
But I think
early
here
phase,
that cycle is much
shorter. But if you don't innovate at the top,
Okay.
right? So you won't go to the next phase. Just like maybe Ranveer Allahabadia, you see beer biceps guy, right? He started with the content like how to maybe flirt with girls, what are the table etiquettes and all of that. But later on, if you see, now he is interviewing Defense Minister of India, Foreign Minister of India. So content he started with and content he's doing now is much different.
So innovation is the key.
Innovation is the key. He matured with his audience. His audience grew up and he leveled up his content accordingly. So every social media influencer need to do that.
So I think innovation for influencers as well as for you is what I understand is going to keep,
It is the key.
is going to be the scale. That is how you are going to scale up over the years.
Yes. Adapt or die, as they say.
Got it. Yeah. So just one question again, more onto the business side. Like you started from Pune, but most of the companies you work, I guess the startup space or even the fintech, most of them are based out either in Bangalore or in Mumbai. So you feel working out there would have been easier because Pune, like I know a growing space, but you feel that could have been differentiation or growth instead of 3x, you could have grown 5x. Do you feel someday?
I don't think so. It actually doesn't matter where you are currently. I mean, in a longer run, it doesn't. In shorter term, to get that launch, maybe Bangalore can be the right city for startups right now. But if you are there in the business long enough, the actual location doesn't matter. We have seen somebody from Assam just created a startup from his home. He created a product and sold it to Adobe or somewhere for some $1 million, right? So it is not actually a constraint from where you're building. How you are executing the strategy you're building for your product and how you're going to take it, right, matters the most. And networking, yes, it does have its own advantages. If you are in Bangalore, Mumbai or any urban city, metro city, you do have better group of people around you. So sometimes your problems get solved with them just by being around them.
Faster basically. Bangalore has that agility.
Yes.
Even I think with Pune, with people like you, I think we are building that.
Yes. Pune will be a good startup hub. I believe there are companies like OneCard, First Cry, Bajaj is there, right? So Pune is known for businesses, but obviously we don't have as much startups as Bangalore, Delhi, Mumbai. But Pune is a very good city to be around. There is a startup community which we can leverage on and make our products for India.
But sometimes you feel working in silos, even you time to like think more about like, because see in a cluttered market like Bangalore, sometimes that comparison even unintended, because you don't want to do it, but it happens that because every person is scaling overnight, every person is doing something new.
Yes.
So Pune gave you that time to think around, see it, and like you feel that that may have helped you somewhere.
You can contemplate on mistakes, just lay back for a while. In Bangalore, you're constantly in a dilemma. Everybody is doing good. What am I doing? Or in any other city, you'll feel that. But Pune gives you that much time to think and rethink about what strategy you're doing and how you want to take this forward, right? And there are enough resources to use in Pune, if you can say. There is enough talent, there are enough other resources which you can leverage on and then take your company forward. So I am a staunch believer of the place shouldn't actually matter. If you are really good at something, people will find you, and you will also find right set of people.
So coming to closing question, so just 30 right now and already formed 2 successful companies. So what is your plan for next decade? I would rather say, because being quite young, what are your goals or what you plan? Like you have chalked it out or like?
No, not currently. I mean, I don't have any exact plan, because if I deviate from that plan, then I'll be like, okay, what am I doing? I'm not going as per thing. But just let the life take you wherever it is going, and you try to make best out of every decision you take. Right? There is no right or wrong decision, I believe. Sometimes you'll take a decision in retrospect, you will think, okay, that was right or wrong. But at that point of time, whatever decision you take for yourself is right. 10 years later, I may figure out, okay, whether that was right or wrong. Oh, okay, maybe that was right, wrong, and all. But at that point, whenever I'm taking it is right, and I believe that जो होता है अच्छे के लिए होता है, right? So just let that happen to you, and yeah, I mean, we figure out along the way where it goes.
So basically, you want to live in the present.
Yes.
In terms of, and also like have that agility to keep taking the decisions at the moment.
Yes.
Got it. I think I have learned a lot. It was like great interaction with you. So
Same.
taking that leap, basically innovation and like believing in yourself. I think that has been great conversation.
Thank you so much. Even I feel the same. I mean, it was a lovely experience to be here with your team and experiencing all of this and sharing my learnings with you. I mean, I hope it helps few people. Even if it helps few people, it's a win-win for us.
Yeah, certainly it has helped me, and it is going to help other people as well. Thanks a lot.
Great.
Thanks
Thank
for
you
being
so
here.
much.